What's up, y'all? This is your boy James. I am here with my special co-hosts, Cat Queen, and we got Tiffany. What's up, ladies?
Hey,
Hi,
cousin.
everybody.
there we go. That's what I wanted to hear from you, Tiffany. Listen, welcome everybody. You are tuned into another episode of Transcending the Culture. We are so excited to be here. Everybody knows how much we are enjoying this podcast, but tonight is really, really, really special. We have a really good guest with us. I will talk a little bit more about her actually in a couple minutes. I just kind of wanted to get some of the beginning stuff out of the way. Obviously, welcome my co-host in here. The three of us, we are working tremendously hard at pulling this all together and making it special and making it perfect for you guys. Obviously, it is a growing process. Last week, I think we had a really good show, but of course, I was in Jersey doing the Lauryn Hill show. So, needless to say, my internet connection was just crazy. And we was in and out and up and down and all kind of stuff was going on, and people walking behind in the screen because they didn't have a they didn't have a computer room, and the TV was going, and it just was a whole lot of stuff. So thank you guys for coming back with us and tuning back in with us and sticking with us. And it's just a lot of stuff going on. Our numbers are going up. Facebook is looking really, really good. We have gone up over 60 followers in the last day. So people are really checking us out and tuning in, and we are like crazy grateful for all of the support that we get. And I know how Kat feels about this, and I know how Tiffany feels about this, and we all want to be perfect, even though none of us are perfect, and we are trying to make it as good as we can and bring in some really positive people. If any of you checked us out earlier today, you saw the interview that Kat and I did with pop and R&B singer and songwriter Jovian. Really, really, really dope interview. I don't know how to better say it, but it's so much that I look for in an artist today, and so much has changed in terms of music. Everybody is kind of cookie cut, and they are doing what they know works. And he's one of those artists that is just doing it by his own book and doing it by his own script and doing what suits him and what's in his heart. And it really shows in the music. Like, it really shows in the music. So we had an opportunity to talk with him earlier, and we went over 15 minutes. We were supposed to be on for 15 minutes, and we talked to him for half an hour, and we could have.
It was such a good conversation.
It was. Like, I had to cut it off because I'm like, okay, they're going to kill me. Like, they told me last night 15 minutes. And then I'm like, here we are at 29 minutes. So it was really, really cool. I know that we will have him back on again, but you can check that out. It is on our YouTube page. Everything is at Transcending TC, except the Twitter or X. That is Transcending _TC. But everything else is Transcending TC. So you can check us out. You can check that interview out as well as our past episodes. And definitely a lot going on. We have a number of guests who are kind of clamoring now to get on the show. So
Yeah.
one guy that I really want to mention, and I was going to put a picture up because I spent all evening trying to figure out how to share pictures and stuff on the stream. So I know how to do it, but I'm not even going to mess with it right now because our guest is here.
I got a couple of pictures I want to put up on the screen.
I'm so ready, but I'm not even going to mess with it right now because I don't want to mess nothing up. We got our guest here, and I'm really, really happy to have her. But I did want to make sure that I mentioned Philly Whedon. Philly Whedon, he is every time I talk to him and every time I talk about him, I call him a fitness guru. But he's big on fitness. He owns a gym and he trains and like he has classes, and it's so much stuff that he does, and it's so many trainers that you cannot trust out there, but he's one of those that really works with you and really cares and really loves what he's doing. And then on the flip side of it, he is a playwright. So he has written numerous plays. He's had numerous big famous people in his plays, and they have all sold out at the Playhouse, and like really, really good. Like he's been all over the place. He's got Tyler Perry's recognizing him, and like he does really, really good. But he has a new deal with university hospitals right now where some of his fitness classes, he's going to be doing them now on university hospitals property. And that's like the first time that this has been done. with University Hospital. So we definitely want to shout him out, recognize him, and we're working out something to actually get him here on the platform. I'm grateful that he does every platform that I have. So I got a ton of platforms, and he's pretty much done them all. And I talked to him actually this morning, and he's going to work that out for us. We also have a couple other people. I'm not going to say names just yet, but we have other people trying to work some stuff out with their schedules to come onto the podcast as well. So we are gaining traction. We are picking up. So that's a kudos to you, Kat, and to you, Tiffany, and to me, because we are busting our butts to really
We
pull
sure
this
is.
together.
We sure is.
We are busting our butts to pull this together. Tiffany and I had like a long talk with cousin Diane yesterday, and we was just, and I know she's probably watching, but we was just like,
she had choir rehearsal,
down us because we like because we are doing good, and it's a work in progress, and we get in there, and we can't help the internet issues and stuff like that.
No, we had some criticism, and
and we need that. Like,
you know what? And I'm just gonna say this. I take all the criticism, but it's just how you come at a person.
How you do it.
You know what I'm saying? Because
absolutely.
Folks out there, you have to realize this is like basically, I've been working with James for years with the UG magazine and everything. We've been going out, here and there doing media coverage. But when it comes to the cyber aspect of it all, I have never did this before in my life. So I have got criticism from, what are you down there looking at? This, and that, third. And it's like, well, I'm trying to get, stuff together. Like last week with the whole Suzanne Summers thing, like I'm trying to, get my stuff together. So I'm writing, but I was really paying attention.
And and the Suzanne Summers thing, just to, clarify with people who are watching now as well, like that really hits you hard.
Yes.
Also because you are a breast cancer survivor. So I think it's important to definitely say that as well. But you're right. You kind of do.
I'm trying. I'm trying. And cousin,
I think that you're doing amazing. I think you and Kat are doing amazing, and I'm glad that we're together. But enough of all of that, because we have our awesome guest sitting here in the background, and I know she's like, "All right, I'm ready. So we are going to bring her in. I just want to do a quick introduction. Her name is Jo Deluzio, and she has this amazing book that is coming out. And I'm going to let her really, go into detail and go into depth and really explain, explain the title and everything about it. But essentially, I invited her on because her life in so many ways mirrors mine. So everybody who knows me at this point knows that I came out, and it has been 3 years now, 2 years, 2.5 years, 3 years since I came out. I talked to Elijah first, and after that went so well, I talked to everybody kind of on the same day. Like, listen, this is what it is, take it or leave it. And her book really centers around the fact that she came out later in life, and obviously that resonates with me because I'm 46. So I've only been out since I was 43. And I don't know. I mean, I had so many emotions around coming out, even though it actually went very well. Like, I can't even say that I had like big problems behind coming out or anything like that. Everybody pretty much was like, okay, what's next? So I'm like, it actually went very, very well for me. And I think that I'm very blessed in that sense, because I know that a lot of people struggle with this, and a lot of people struggle with it, and they have issues behind it. And some of them wish that they never did it. And they have issues with family and stuff like that. But luckily, with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 people, I have not really had any issues like family wise. So, it's been really good for me. But when I saw the press release about Jo's book, and what this all did for her and where she was in her life and that sort of thing, I just said that we got to bring her onto the show. Like, I thought it would be really essential to have her on, especially with what we're trying to do for the culture and for the community, and knowing that there's so many people whose lives really mirror that, and a lot of them are still in the closet. So that, all that being said, I want to go ahead and invite our guest in. So she is here. I would love for everybody to help us to welcome Jo Deluzio to Transcending the Culture. Hello again.
Hello.
um,
Hi, Joe.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Again, thank you for coming onto the show. Like, I think it's really essential to have people here who can really, speak to this, who can speak to this and who can share their lives and, the things that came, that come behind, them coming at a later age. And, I fully relate to that. I was a nervous wreck, just in terms of what I was going to do and how I was going to do it and who I was going to talk to first. And did I really want to talk to them? And did I just want to keep it undercover or whatever? But I think that with my divorce and where I was and like how depressed I was, and then with me kind of getting like the self-help and all of that stuff, it just was essential for me to live that authentic life, which I don't know if you've seen my Instagram page, but it's titled Authentically James. So, and that honestly is why, because I can't even remember what it was called before, but I changed it at that point because I was just like, I gotta get into that space where I'm just living for me and doing for me and being happy with me and loving me and all of that stuff. So enough about me. I want us to talk about you and, let you get started. So welcome. And if you will, just let everybody know who you are and about your book.
Who am I? There's an interesting question. My name is Jo, and I am professionally an audiologist, and I've been an audiologist for over 40 years. I also hold a PhD in speech language pathology, and I've been teaching in the speech pathology program at the University of Toronto for 25 years. Soon to retire. I'm almost 66, so...
You don't look it.
Oh, liar, liar, pants on fire. I think I look 106. Personally, I have raised 6 children, so surviving teenagers, maybe not as hard as surviving the closet, but pretty darn close. So what did you ask me about my story? Well, first of all, it's not that I wanted to write the book. I needed to write the book. It just came out of me. And I think it was very cathartic. Perhaps I looked at writing from looking back at the closet I left behind. But I think there's a lot of women and also people who are still in the closet and they're trapped and they don't really see a way out. And I mean, certainly in some countries, if you're murdered or tortured because of your sexual orientation, you're not going to come out of the closet. But even here in Canada or North America, there are many cultures that, families kick their children out if they find out that they're gay, and stop supporting them. And I think we hear a lot of coming out stories, but as James alluded to, they tend to be younger people coming out. How do I tell my my parents? How do I tell my friends? But I think it's a very different process when you're a lot older. My concern was, well, how do I tell my children? How do I tell my husband?
Right.
Yeah. So, and I think that you don't just come out of the closet and then poof, all of a sudden you have a brand new life. You have to first learn how to survive that you came out and all of that entails. As an older woman coming out, I mean, I was raised in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, which is in the north of Ontario. I didn't know any lesbians. The stereotype was that, if you were a leslie, you dress like a boy, you walk like a boy, you were a jock, you were athletic. I'm super not athletic. If someone throws a ball at me, I duck. I mean, I like dresses, I like nail polish, I still do. So I knew I was attracted to girls when I was about 14, but I didn't understand what that meant. I really didn't understand. And I really wasn't until I was in my 30s that I really understood or started to understand my sexuality. And by then, you're wrapped in a world of children and and all of the things that entails. I don't want to keep talking. I think you should maybe just ask me the kinds of questions. I do want to say that I was raised in a religious home. My parents were wonderful, but if any of you were raised in a religious home, there are a lot of messages, some come from the Bible, some are misinterpretations of the Bible, some come from whatever, fear, hate, who knows. But there's a lot of messages that, you're an abomination, you're horrible, you're an embarrassment, and I didn't want to be gay. I wanted to be straight. And I can tell you that if praying to be straight made you straight, I'd be straight. And because
if only it were that simple.
Yeah, if it were only that simple. And so, not feeling very good about myself for a good many years, because I had everything, I had a successful husband. We had a lot of money. I had a beautiful home. I had a career I loved. I had, thriving children. They were in private school. We went on vacations. We had everything. And so from everybody's optic, you have it all. Why would you? So then you feel bad about yourself. Well, only a selfish person would want something else. So, and I mean, I didn't end up leaving my husband because I didn't love him. We still love each other. We still have a relationship. But I think that he was trapped in the closet too after he found out. And I mean, he didn't want me to leave the marriage, but I mean, I couldn't do it after a while. You just can't do it. So I don't know. I'll stop blah, blah, blahing, and you can decide whatever.
Now, I think that, I think it's good that you've explained it the way that you did. I think it's good that you explained it the way that you did. And the thing for me is, just helping people to see that it's not just women that deal with that, because obviously a lot of my life has really mirrored that, and me being married and seemingly happy, and then you just get to a point where it just kind of all becomes clear. And I just think that, like, for me, I just got to a place where it was just like, I gotta live for me. And I mean, I don't know if that's kind of what you were thinking, but I just was like, I have to live for me and I have to be happy. And, there's a lot of depression and stuff, as I, after the separation and, obviously the divorce and then going to counseling and all of that stuff, it kind of helped me to see that, hell, I've been depressed for a long time. Like, I can really look back now and see, like, where a lot of, me just being unhappy with myself and not really loving myself, like, where a lot of it came from. Because it was just like, after going to counseling and, getting the help that I needed and still getting help and, coming out, it's like, obviously it doesn't fix everything, but it kind of got me to that place where I'm like, okay, I'm good. And I love everything about me. And like, it really helped in so many ways. And I mean, Tiffany can really attest to that, because I mean, there were times where Tiffany would be calling me and couldn't get me for the life of her. And she might be trying to call me for 2 or 3 months and it says she can't get me. Don't do that.
Ridiculous.
It just, it's amazing, but it's cool to be able to connect with somebody who kind of has that story. And I know where I was, just in terms of like my child, and like, how is he going to take that and how is he going to accept that? But I think the cool thing, in my situation is that between his mother and I, like, we raised him to love and accept people. So it really was just a natural thing. I mean, I won't say a natural thing, but it was easier for him to be okay and accept it, because he was raised, he loves people regardless. So I just didn't have that negative experience. But for you, like, how was that, considering that you have kids, and like, and then you also come from a religious family. So like, how was that, obviously, for your parents? Are they still alive, and were they alive?
No, my parents never knew that that I'm gay. They're both deceased. Interestingly enough, I had written a letter to my mom when I was doing my undergrad, a bazillion years ago in 1802. I wrote a letter to my mom explaining to her that I thought that I loved women. So maybe I was, 21 or something. And she basically said, oh, that's nice, but you don't have to tell anybody. But we also raised our children to celebrate diversity. And we had a lot of gay friends. So that wasn't an issue. It was more an issue with and I don't like to call him my ex-husband because the term ex is negative. I call him my only husband.
Yeah.
So, I mean, ex kind of implies like he's excommunicated from my life, and he's not. We're close friends.
I get it.
He was at my wedding to my wife. I was at his wedding to his wife.
But that's good though. Like even after the fact, and despite everything that went on, like the both of you
that's great.
You can still support each other.
But his family, who I thought I was an important part, all the parties I hosted, I thought they loved me. They weren't all kind, and I lost a lot of relationships. And most of our couple friends sided with him, so it was hurtful. So, and it still is at times, although, when you come out later in life, you make different families, especially within the gay community. You meet allies who become like your family. So I did lose a lot of friends, or people I thought were my friends, and maybe they really weren't. So that was hurtful, really hurtful. What did I want to say? I wanted to get back. I don't want to skew the conversation, but I think you have sort of the intersectionality of being a Black man and being gay in a lot of and you may have been born in Canada, but in a lot of sort of in the Caribbean and like Jamaica, whatever, it's not very well accepted.
Absolutely.
Men have to be macho. There's a certain role that they're expected to play.
Absolutely.
And it can be really difficult. And I'm told, and I not interviewed, but I surveyed a number of women, and they tell their stories in the book as well. And some of their stories are similar to mine, some are different, but women who also came out later in life and their stories, and people that have other sort of identities, whether it's Jewish or whatever, there's a lot in some ways more at risk, because if you come out and you're rejected by, let's say, the Black community or whatever, then, or that's your identity, and you lose the love of that community, then where are you, kind of? Absolutely. So I think I'm really pleased for you that things worked out. And I've certainly met a lot of people who came out later in life that were rejected by their family. My wife is from native of North Africa, where being gay is still punishable by death. So wow. And there are still 14 countries in the world where being gay is punishable by death, more than 14 countries. There's almost 40 countries in the world where being gay is against the law. And so she has a loving family, but they don't really know who she is. So when she visits them, and I have visited them a couple times, and they're profoundly beautiful people, and they seem to love me as her, quote, best friend, but we both wonder, well, would they still love me or love her if they knew the nature of our relationship? So I certainly have met a lot of women who came out later in life, and I met a Muslim woman who wasn't allowed to. I'm not saying all Muslim marriages are like this, but in her particular marriage, from the culture she was from, she couldn't even go out without her husband's permission. So I'm trying to break free from those mandatory female roles. Can be really difficult.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I had a question for Jo. I know you were saying how her family, your wife's family, thought you were lovely, as the best friend. how do you feel about families that it's almost like a don't ask, don't tell? It's like, okay, that's fine, but just, it's almost like a 1 foot in, 1 foot out of the closet type of thing. What advice would you give someone dealing with that?
Yikes. I'm not in a position to judge anyone else's family. I think that you come out of the closet when you're ready. I think you come out of the closet when you feel safe. I think that many people are out of the closet in some environments and not in others. And at least if their families sort of don't ask, don't tell, like, the American Army used to be or whatever, or if they know it, but they don't talk about it, they're erasing part of who you are. It's not all of who you are, but it's an important part. But at least they still love you as a person. But it's sad because they don't ever know you or the authentic you. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if I'd give advice as much as I'd say just make sure you're safe. But don't let anyone pull you out of the closet. You come out when you're ready. You come out when you're safe. You come out when you have the opportunity to do so.
I wanted to share a little bit of my story. I kind of fell out of the closet, if you will.
It was a weak door. It must have been a weak door.
Yeah, it was.
Mine was dead. Mine was dead, bolted.
Yeah. I was at a wedding with my family, a friend's wedding, and in the midst of the dancing and the drinks and the things going on, I ended up kissing another bridesmaid, and this was in front of my sisters, actually next to the cupcake table that my mom is serving cupcakes, right? And so and she, after we kissed, sometimes you're just so into things, so then I'm like, I kind of remember where I am. And my mom's like, do you girls want some cupcakes? And I'm like,
I swear.
Yeah, my mom makes the best cupcakes, by the way. But I was just like, did she see that? Did she ignore it? I felt a lot of mixed emotions. I felt some shame. I felt some embarrassment. I felt some, these were unfamiliar feelings to me as a bisexual woman. I've never done anything like that in front of my family. So, and that night it was a lot of blur that night. So my whole family, everyone was a buzz about it. My sisters, everything. So I took a couple days and I, wanted to talk to my mom about it. And I'm thinking, someone then called her, how our family is. Someone then told on me and I talked to her and I'm like, Mom, did you see what happened at the wedding with me and such? And did someone tell you? She's like, no one told me that. What are you talking about? I didn't see anything. And I'm just like, oh, like I didn't just, I kind of like outed myself, but I felt a sense of relief. I felt a sense of, okay, I can be my whole authentic self, like James said. Right. So then I was able to move and feel comfortable within my family. There's still some, not really, they're unfamiliar with it. So we're going through, those pains, those growing pains, and just people being able to identify you as something else or seeing you as someone different in their eyes. So that was just my story. So I wanted to thank you for sharing your story. Mine was a little different, but I definitely identify with, later in life coming out and your life totally kind of changing. So.
And while the cupcake scenario was happening, was Katy Perry's song "I Kissed a Girl,"
and that was one of my favorite songs in high school. I should have known something, that was on repeat to me in high school. But yeah, I don't know what was playing. I was so worried about this beautiful woman in front of me. I wasn't worried about cupcakes or anything, So
well, and then I think for a lot of families, there's a lot of, even within the queer community, there's a lot of biphobia. So sometimes people think, well, you're really just gay, but you don't want to come out, or people who are bisexual or greedy, or there's a lot of
you're just having fun. You don't know what happened. You got hurt in the past. You'll get over it. It's just a phase. And I feel like that is really hard for a lot of people in the bisexual community.
Absolutely.
Just people to take you serious that
Well,
this is my sexuality.
Right.
I was unfortunately the last to know about my cousins and the Denvers or whatever. And we was sitting here at a meeting and I'm like, say what now? But it, like I said, I don't judge. I have friends that are bisexual and gay or whatever, and I don't judge. It is what it is. My cousin James told me about his, and me and him had a long conversation. So, I'm like, I'm never going to feel no type of way. We have a couple of, gay cousins in our family, and I love them. So it's like some people out here just don't really take life seriously, and I'm just like, get out of yourself and see what's in front of you.
Right.
I'm super serious, because it's too much judging in this world. If you tell somebody something that's going on in your life, I swear they will take it and run with it, and they use it against you every time. And then it just shuts you all the way down and say, I don't even want to talk to that person, because I know if I say something, they're going to take it too hard. They're going to take it out of context and all of it. And then it just keeps you trapped in the closet once again, and without saying nothing, because you're scared that if you say something, this person is going to be over here looking at you all crazy. This person over here is going to be talking to you like, oh, did you know such and such?
Judgment.
I mean, just the whole judging. Just the whole judging.
Yeah. Absolutely. Like I guess my question is, because it seems like you pretty much knew, a majority of your life. Like you said, you wrote a letter to your mom.
But I didn't understand what that meant. What that
Yes,
I thought that I thought that it was normal for girls to love their girlfriends.
Right. I thought that too.
Absolutely. I guess I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tiff.
So do you think that if your parents were alive today or whatnot, and you sat there, do you think they would judge you or look at you any type of way?
No, I think my parents were incredibly loving and people and accepting people, and I think they would have. I think they would have still loved me and accepted me.
Yes.
I think they would have been.
I think they would have.
Yeah, I think they would have been profoundly sad that my marriage broke up. But I don't. I think they would have loved it, and my siblings think they would have loved me. My sister was so angry when I told her. So angry, not for the reasons you think, because I didn't tell her sooner. I didn't trust her sooner.
The siblings, they hate that. Like, you should have told me.
Yeah, and it's not that I didn't trust her. I guess I didn't trust myself, or I didn't believe in myself.
Sometimes we're not ready to admit it.
Right. But I mean, when people find out, even now, I don't want to be disrespectful to people, but they ask some of the stupidest questions. Like people will ask my wife and I, but who's the boy? There's no but who's the male? But who's the male? There's no male. And,
but you know what? That happens in every culture, though. So it's
yeah, but it's just ignorance, and just people say really stupid things, and you just look at them, and I mean, I'm supposed to be kind and try to educate. I'm an educator by profession, and to try to answer questions, but you kind of want to laugh. Like, really, are you kidding? But I think the process of coming out also, how do you meet other lesbian women? There's not a dating for lesbian dummies or something book in the bookstore, and how do you know that someone's gay? And all the things that they tell you to do, join a gay sports team. I don't play sports. Oh, thank you. Are these gay outdoor clubs? Do I look like someone who snowshoes? Like, I'm not, so, and then when you meet gay women, and they want to go for coffee, and then you think, okay, is this coffee? Like, did they just want to be my friend, or is like you just don't know? And the rules when you grow up in a fiercely heterosexual society, as we all have done, we kind of know the dating rules. We might not like them, but we know what they are. When you come out and you're like, okay, now what do I do? Like, okay, I'm out. What am I supposed to do now? So there's that whole process of not just, and then you have to start telling other people, you know, that when you come out, I mean, I came out over a period of years, you know, telling, you know, my doctor first and hoping maybe there was a cure. But, you know, telling don't laugh, James. Don't laugh at me.
It's I don't want to say it's funny, but I think it's more so that, you know, again, like a lot of your story just really resonates.
It's relatable.
It really resonates because I went through a lot of the same stuff and kind of the back and forth. And do I really want to do it or do I not want to do it? And what's going to happen when I do it? And,
right. A while ago, and this little anecdote is in my book. I was on the bus. Where are you guys located? I don't even know.
Well, I'm in Cleveland, Ohio.
Akron, Ohio.
Ohio.
Okay. So I was on the bus. I'm in Toronto. I live in Toronto, Canada. I was on the bus and a bunch of boys from high school got on the bus, and, you know, as only teenagers can be, they're loud and rowdy, and they were teasing each other, and they kept calling this one boy the F word that people use to say cigarettes, and they kept saying it over and over. And I thought, it was broad daylight. It was, you know, maybe 3:30. And I thought, enough. And I said to the boys, stop saying the F word. Please stop saying that. And so now people on the bus are sort of, should we pay attention to this? Should we not pay attention? And I'm not a very big person. I mean, I lie and say I'm 5'4". I'm barely 5'3". Like, I'm pretty petite. These boys are significant. And I'm also in my 60s. These boys are significantly younger than me. And I thought, oh, Joe, this might not have been your best idea. And then one said, oh, we don't really think he's a whatever, the word for homosexual. We just mean that he's stupid. And I said,
yes.
Do you think that all gay people are stupid? And then he said, well, maybe. So I said, do you think I'm stupid? And he said, no, miss. What the heck that means, miss? No, miss, you seem like a nice lady. And I said, well, I'm gay. I think that guy's jaw is still on the floor of the bus. And by now, everybody on the bus, I said, well, I'm gay. And everyone's like, shoot. And now everybody's staring at me. So I'm thinking, oh, okay. But they sort of shut up. And I thought, you know, when we hear homophobic slurs, we have to be safe. I mean, obviously, I don't think anyone in Toronto's going to take out a gun and shoot me because I'm gay. But being complicit when we hear these kinds of slurs and negative things means it's okay, and it's not okay. And when someone tells a joke that makes fun of gay people, it's not okay to laugh. And I think if people feel safe, they need to say, you know, I don't think you should tell that joke, or I'm offended. But I think we all need to, if we believe that diversity is a good thing, I think we need to speak up and say that this is not okay. This is just not okay to behave in this way. And there's such a resurgence of homophobia and transphobia right now in North America that you know, historically Canada and the US were thought to be sort of where refugees come who are gay from other countries. By the way, I have a second book coming out in May of next year where I interviewed a number of refugees who came to Toronto because of their LGBTQ2S status. And the stories are horrific, you know, being raped and beaten and set on fire and thrown out on the street when they were 13, and from countries all over the world, and what they endured. And I think that this is a really important book because I think the world, anybody who considers themselves a humanitarian or needs to know what the situation is like for gay people living in other countries in the world. Anyway, that's a shameless plug for my second.
I'm glad you plugged it though, because I would like to buy that book and read it. Like I would love to know, because it's good to know about people in other countries and other areas, and like how they're dealing with it too, and how it relates to things here or how it may not relate to things. Like it's good to be able to know all of that.
Right.
So
And one of the people that I interviewed, I mean, he was a boy. I mean, a boy, 18 or 19 years old, and his English wasn't very good yet. And he didn't want to use a translator. He wouldn't even let me say the name of the country, his country, in the book, because he's so afraid. I doubt his parents will know where he is, but he's so afraid they'll find out. And that was his message. Maybe people don't care because they don't know. Maybe if you tell people our stories, there will be more of a public outcry. And it's like, maybe, I mean, but at least if people read the book, they can't say they didn't know that this is how people are treated. So
I think that you're doing oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, James.
No, I just was gonna say I think that you're doing amazing work. Obviously, through the literary stands and releasing these books. I actually have been working on my book, which I mean it's going to be inclusive of a lot of things. So it's not just about me coming out, but that is going to be a big piece of it though. And it has taken me. I honestly have been working on it since the year that I separated, and that was 2018. So I've been back and forth. Like I've written probably half of it and then scrapped it all and started over and wrote almost half of it again and then scrapped it. And because so much has, I think that when I started writing it, like I had so much anger inside. So like anybody that started reading it, they were going to know instantly, oh, he's pissed. He is pissed. And then like as I started going to counseling and really getting help and starting to understand a lot of other things, then my stance on a lot of stuff really changed. So then it was like, okay, I don't know if I really want to put that out now because some people are going to be pretty pissed. And then, a lot of people were like, well, you should go ahead and put it out anyway because it's the truth. But I've been back and forth, just in terms of the content of the book and everything that I want to have in there. But I mean, that will be a big piece of it though.
Yeah, I have a chapter in my book about the oppression, religion and the oppression of people that are gay. And it was a really tough chapter to write because I don't want to be disrespectful against any religion at all. And I think that people have a right to believe that, I'm going to burn in hell or whatever. If that's their belief, we have freedom of religion in Canada. And if you want to believe that, that's your right to believe that. But what they can't do is propagate misinformation. All gay people are pedophiles, all gay people are whatever. And you can't take my rights away in the name of religion, which I think is what's happening in the US right now. Just because you're religious, it doesn't mean you can't serve someone or you can fire them or, religious rights don't trump gay rights don't trump religious rights. It's human rights. And I have a right, just like anybody, to own a home or rent a home or to get a service. Or you have now, I don't know if you're aware of this in the US, there's some states in the US now where a medical doctor can refuse to treat someone that's gay on religious grounds. I'm sorry.
Wow.
The Hippocratic Oath, it shouldn't matter if you don't agree with the sexual orientation. It's
right.
Maybe the hypocritical oath, maybe it is.
Yeah.
This scares me. This scares me because this isn't a third world country. This
Very
is,
much so.
Yeah. And where is this hate coming from? Is it coming from fear? I mean, hate is learned and people need to stop teaching it to their children. And you can believe that being bisexual or homosexual or transsexual, whatever, you can believe that that's wrong. Leave us alone. Leave us the heck alone. Believe what you want, but don't get my face. I'm not telling you what you have to believe and how to. If you don't agree with gay marriage, don't marry a gay person.
Or be one.
Yeah, but leave me. My wife and I one time there's a gay village I live in Toronto, and there's a gay village, and we're sitting, on a patio in a gay village, and some people that looked like they were looking for a fight. Don't go to the gay village if you don't want to see gay people. And they spit on us. We were eating lunch and they spit on us. First of all, not everyone that eats lunch in the gay village is gay. Second of all, if you don't want to see gay people, don't go to the gay village. And third of all, that's an assault. That's assault.
Mhm.
You don't spit on someone's food and call us disgusting. Yeah. So I think that I have those messages in my book as well, in terms of that keeps people closeted, the fear of harm or the fear of, you know, retaliation or repercussion or whatever. And I
Some
think
people don't even want that, like, to even be an option for them. Like, they're scared for that even, you know, at all. So I can completely understand with the safety and just, you know, sometimes there's a safety in being, you know, what the norm is.
Mhm.
And, you know, sometimes you don't want to give that up.
right. I mean, for me, short hair aside, and I don't wear short hair because I trying to look gay. I have short hair because I have two hairs and they're never in the right place. So that's why I have short hair. But for me, I pass as straight because I'm more feminine looking. I wear dresses or whatever, nail polish, whatever. But for some gay women, you know, you'd have to live on a different planet to not know they were gay when they walk by. I think they are more at risk. And I think the stereotype of, you know, the feminine gay man who lisps and wears a tutu. I mean, it's a very small subsect of gay men that behave that way, but they are more at risk than somebody like James, who looks pretty macho.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
but you know what I'm saying? And I think the crime is almost for men not to be manly enough. I think that's why it's trans women or trans feminine people that are the most murdered people, and that it's almost as if their crime is not being manly enough. So I think the whole gay issue is wrapped into our gender binary. They're two different things, sexuality and gender, but I think people are so entrenched in, you have men and you have women, and men are supposed to sleep with, you know, women, and women are supposed to sleep, and it's so stupid. Like, binaries are for computers.
right.
You know, so.
I know. I went to my first Pride festival this year with my cousin James. Didn't know it was. I did not know that it was a festival even going on here in Akron downtown. So we had a family reunion meeting that day, and he had to come down here. So he called me up and was like, "Hey, cousin, I'm coming down here anyway. You want to go to the Pride Festival?" And I'm like, "It's a Pride Festival?" He was like, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah, I ain't doing nothing." I didn't know what to expect. It was a festival. You know, I'm figuring like any other festival. So when we went, let me tell you, my mouth to the floor, because I think that's probably one of the best festivals I have ever. When we have festivals here, we have like an Italian festival, we have a all hamburger festival, we have the African American festival downtown, and then the list goes on. But that particular festival, man, I mean, so many vendors. When I say so many vendors, every business, from Huntington Bank, from Citizens Bank, from T-Mobile, from this and from that, even these car dealerships supported the gay and lesbian community. Every single business. And I was just floored and in awe. I even got me some mace from one of the businesses. I paid for it. I ain't never going to actually pay for anything. I was like, "Are you kidding?" I'm Ubering, so I needed the mace. But I'm just like, all of the colors, everybody just was their self, dressed up in however they wanted to be dressed in. Everybody was nice, polite. I mean, dancing and doing whatever they wanted to. I got a little backslash from, "What are you doing at the Pride Festival?" Because I want to be.
And that's just my thing, is that I just feel like you should be able to be who you are and, you know, do what you want to do.
I felt free, and I'm not even gay or lesbian. I just felt like I can say and do what I want to. Now, if you go to an Italian festival, is you gonna sit here and be like, "What? You're at an Italian festival? You with the Italians?" Like, I'm just really trying to figure it out.
Right.
I'm in that place where, and I realize that it takes people time to get to this place.
Right.
If they ever if they ever get there. But I'm just in a place where I don't care. Like if you're not paying for this
Period.
house, if you're not paying for this house and this light, gas, water, phone, cell phone, car, gas for the child when he don't have no gas money and everything, like you're not doing that stuff. And if you are, I'm still not gonna listen to you. So
Right.
I'm just in a place where I don't really care. And then like as far as like you mentioned, you were like, well, James looks pretty macho. Listen, listen, I can't change a tire. Well, I can, but I choose not to. I choose assistance. And like I've never really bought into like the gender roles and this is how you're supposed to be. I mean, I think just in general, I guess I'm naturally masculine, depending on who you ask. You know,
Yeah, that's true. And depending your context too.
It's all relative to whoever you're talking to or whatever. I just think that at the end of the day, I'm just a regular guy. I'm still a father. Like I still love people. I treat people the right way, and I just like a guy. Yeah. And that's just the way that I look at it. And a lot of people don't look at it that way, and that's fine because again, they're not paying for this house or nothing. So I'm just in that place where I don't really care anymore. Yeah. And I mean, I have, like I said, like family wise, I've been very blessed. Like definitely my immediate family, like there's no issues. Like whether it's my parents or whether it's my sister or whether it's the kids or whether it's, you know, I have one person who I just came to the realization that maybe this is what it is, maybe it's not. I don't really know, and I don't really care. Like you're either going to be there or you're not. Yeah. And if you're not, that's fine. And it took a long time, you know, obviously to get to that place. You know, a lot of people don't come out because they don't want to lose their family or they don't want to lose what they think they have in their family or whatever. But I just think that, like, in my situation, it just told me who was really there for me and who wasn't. And the one who isn't, have a good life, I guess. I mean, I don't
you find out real quick who your friends are, that's for sure, or who your real friends are. But I've had a couple of friends that I lost, and then they've come back. Then they've come back, so they didn't understand, or they had a hard time with it, or you were lying all those years. I didn't lie to anybody, and maybe I lied to myself. I didn't understand, and then I was afraid, and then, you know, like I didn't know anybody. I didn't know you could live happily ever after with another woman, and I didn't want to be a failure. I think women from my generation, and maybe just women, we're programmed often from little girls to be pleasers. We please our parents, we please our teachers, we please our husbands, we please our children. And if we don't do that, then we're failures as women. Yeah. So it's not super duper easy. Yeah. Even in a fairly safe country, it's not super duper easy. And I think right now, my publisher was listing, I think it's on the press release, which I didn't even know about, a number of older movie stars, female movie stars that have come out later. Yes. It's interesting to see. And they all have their own story too. They all have different stories as well. Some of them knew they were gay but didn't come out, or some of them, I think sexuality is fluid sometimes, you know, like you're not one thing you're not stuck there for your whole life. So
it's really interesting learning different celebrities, especially maybe ones we didn't expect, or, you know, even ones that have even passed on. Like I know it's interesting learning about Whitney Houston and her sexuality and things like that. So it just kind of, for me, it just makes them more complex and makes me identify with them more, you know, when you find out. So, and I wanted to ask Jo, what do you want your readers to know about your book? What advice do you have for someone that is struggling with what you talk about in your book?
I think my best advice would be to love yourself and believe in yourself and believe you have worth. And you deserve to live an authentic life, and you deserve to be seen as who you are. I think when you're in the closet, you don't feel very good about yourself, and you don't think you deserve anything better. So I think you have to learn to love yourself, and then maybe you'll have the courage to come out of the closet. And some people, like a bandage, rip it off and come out quickly, and some people it takes many years. But I think my advice to women would be: believe in yourself, love yourself. You are worthy, and your life is worth something, and you're entitled to live an authentic and happy life. You don't have to stay trapped. Most maybe some people do, but you can try to break free from mandatory heteronormativity.
Like, how do you feel writing this book has, kind of furthered your journey? Like, how do you think that has helped you and kind of helped you take your journey to the next level?
Well, I think for me, it was sort of helped me on my path to self-love. I think it's spent a lot of years hating myself, as I mentioned, for something I didn't choose and I can't change, and for not being grateful for what I had. It wasn't that I wasn't grateful, but I felt like I was living someone else's life. And I think writing the book has helped me on my path of accepting myself and finding my place, and I think there's a lot of pain in my story, and I think other women have the same pain. So I think getting to a place where you can say, look, this is my story, and maybe you have a similar story, maybe you have a different story, but we're tired of being invisible. We're here, we're queer. I don't know if I answered your question.
You absolutely did.
Now I had a question. How did your wife feel about your friends when they found out that you guys came out?
How did my
I know
wife
you were saying that you had, like you have lost some of your friends, and I just because you get married and your other people doesn't like your wife or your husband or whatever. So how did she feel when you lost some of your friends?
I think she didn't know me when I was at that early stage of the coming out process. But I think her journey has been different than mine. I think she's courageous beyond measure. I think it's really tough when you come from a culture that is so homophobic to come out at all. And I mean, she's come out to some of her friends now that are still in her home country with good success. But I don't think she's so afraid now that her family will find out. But she doesn't want to lose them. She loves them. I think her journey was different, and I think she still has one foot on either side of the closet door. And I really hope for her that at some time in the future she will be able to come right out. She's 10 years younger than I am. But our paths have been different. She came out younger than I did. I think there's added layers of her culture, her religion that she was raised in, which was very oppressive. So I think her story is distinctly different. And of course, if I come out in Canada, no one's going to put me in jail or throw acid on me or beat me to death. But in her country, she can't know that that's not the case, because on the books in her country, you can still be sentenced to death if you're gay.
Wow.
And there are many African countries are like that. So I think her journey is very, very different than mine. She's hilariously funny, though. So sometimes, I mean, she tends to be not as feminine presenting as I am. And she sort of has that swag walk. I can't even imitate it. I wish I could. So sometimes when she goes back for, not this time, but the time before, when she went back home for a month to visit her family, she came back. She was holding a purse. And I picked her up at the airport and she had a purse. I said, "Who are you and what did you do with my wife?" She's wearing a purse and some femi top. What the heck are you doing? But she kind of got molded that way. This time when she went back for a month, to her home country. She actually borrowed some of my clothes, and we just keep laughing hysterically because she would normally wear board shorts to swim. I wear swim dresses. She borrowed one of my swim dresses. So here's all these pictures of her with her family wearing my clothes. It's really funny.
Do you feel like your dressing and your gender expression is an important part of coming out?
Do I feel like my gender expression is an important part of coming out? I think
you were saying that your wife had to almost, change her clothing and things like that.
Right. For me, I think my gender expression prevented me from coming out early on because I was feminine presenting and I was ensconced with stereotypes about what a gay woman looked like. I didn't think I could be gay. But I think, gender and sexuality are very different, but I think there's that fear of sort of lipstick lesbians or feminine presenting lesbians that people are going to expect them to suddenly become more masculine or, drive a motorcycle or whatever. By the way, I like cowboy boots. So can I have my gay card back? Yeah, I think gender is different for everyone, and the gender expression of someone that's gay is different. So you have, I guess, bisexual women and gay women or pansexual women that are very gender conforming, and some that are completely gender non-conforming, and some that are androgynous. I think it's a different issue, though. How you present your gender, what's authentic to you, and your sexuality are two different things. Okay. I think, but yeah.
Well, I think that this has been really amazing. I'm grateful for you coming on and really talking to us. Just to kind of divvy back to the book again, it's going to be available when to the public?
Well, you can pre-order it now. So it's available on, and my publisher's going to kill me. I don't know all the places. No, she's not literally going to kill me. It's available on Amazon, in Indigo. It's in a lot of places. It's available for pre-order. So when they have the book, they'll mail it out. But it should be available not for pre-order around November 1st. That you can purchase it. And the response has been overwhelming. When the press release went out, it didn't actually occur to me it was going to go to the press. Clearly, I'm not that bright. So I've had at least 15 radio interviews, and I've had a magazine interview.
Oh, wow.
And it's just
That's
been
great. Some
pretty well-known radio stations wanting to talk to me. And I'm like, oh, shit. But yeah, but I think it's an important story to tell. And I think many people, all the stories, we all need to be seen and heard. But I think particularly those of us, there's a gap. The stories that are out there on coming out are much younger people coming out, and that process, it's very different as we get older. So yeah. There was a reviewer from New Orleans, a professional book reviewer, and she gave my book 5 out of 5 and said it was the most optimistic and hopeful book she'd read in a long time. I was like, damn, I wrote that. Good job, Jo.
Like, that made us official. You said damn. I'm like, all right, there we go.
Right.
Oh, am I not supposed to say damn on a podcast?
Oh no, you say whatever you want to say on here.
Gosh darn. Golly.
No, I think that, like, I couldn't imagine somebody taking a look at this book and thinking any less of it.
Yeah.
I'm very eager to buy a copy of this book. I had not asked Sasha for like a copy to read or something to read before we got it. Once she sent me the talking points and everything, I said, okay, so I kind of know what direction I want to go. But the thing with me too is that it's kind of interesting because you get all these perks and stuff, being in media and being a journalist and, all that kind of stuff and interviewing people. You get all this opportunity to get free books and all that stuff. And I'm that person that, if I truly believe in it, which the cool thing about having your own platforms is I don't bring nobody on with any products or any books that I don't believe in. So like, as soon as I saw what you had, I said, yeah, we got to have her on. And like,
Thank
I
you.
fully
That's
support
really
this book.
kind.
So my thing is, I'm that person that I'm ready to buy it. So I'm going on and do my pre-order so that I can get a copy. Will it be available like in, I do like a lot of like Apple books and like all of that stuff. Like, will it be available in those platforms or digital platforms?
I don't know. Right now, it's a book. It's a soft cover book. I don't know what the plans are of the publishing.
I'm not opposed to that either. Like, I'm getting that age where I like books now too. So
yeah, I've already been asked. Canada's officially a bilingual country. I've already been asked if it will be translated into French, not by me, but perhaps we can get a professional translator because, yeah, bonjour is not going to quite cover the book. But I don't know. I signed a 2-book deal with this publishing company that believed in me, which is fantastic. And the first book is this one, Surviving the Closet, and the second book, which still doesn't have a title, is where I've interviewed refugees from other countries. And the book talks a lot about, when I tell their stories as they told me, then I go into what's happening in their country right now. So I think it's a really important book. And hopefully they will both be read. I feel a little funny now about Surviving the Closet because my life and guts are splattered all over it, but it's okay. It's okay.
Well, I'm definitely excited about us having had this conversation. Are there any type of, I guess I want to say, like, final comments or final thoughts that you have just in terms of the book or anything else that you have going on right now?
No, just I'm here. I'm queer. No, I think I just wish the world would be kinder, especially now.
Absolutely.
We're in a humanitarian crisis. But I think the stories of gay and transgender and gender non-conforming people need to be told, and people need to hear the stories and listen. And you can't really say you're a human rights advocate if you don't understand gay rights, because they're human rights. So I guess my final message is, which I mentioned earlier, hate is learned. Stop teaching it to your children.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Wow.
Anyway. Well, thank you so much for having me. It's been fun. You guys are lots of fun.
Absolutely, Miss.
Thank you.
I think a lot of it starts with us. So, we want the world to accept us, and there's so much bad that happens centered around people and their sex life and their sexuality and whatnot, and we want the world to accept us, but I think that it also starts with us accepting each other
100%.
and loving each other and supporting 100%. Each other. We have different stuff going on, books coming out, and whatever the case may be, and any way, shape, or form that I can be a support to you, if that means coming to Toronto, which, Lord, I've been trying to get to Toronto.
Come to Toronto Pride, although it's a bit intimidating, and I think we're being used as a marketing platform by a lot of these companies, and we're losing. But Toronto Pride is pretty huge, so come to Toronto Pride if you feel like it. Definitely, don't come to Toronto without looking me up.
Yeah. So every time I go to Niagara Falls, I'm like, I'm gonna go to Toronto, and I never make it. So I'm gonna to get there and get to Toronto. First I got to renew my passport.
That's the first step.
Yeah.
It's hard to get to Toronto because traffic is so bad here. Sorry, Torontonians. But anyway.
There's a big event that Sasha usually does every year. It's usually like around September, and it's like in, I guess, this Dundas Square and all that stuff. That it's usually like a lot of hip hop artists and that sort of thing performing and whatnot.
Yeah.
And, I had been covering it for a number of years, but then I haven't really done anything with it for the last few years, of course, because of the pandemic and all that stuff.
Right.
But I would love to actually get to Toronto. And she's connected me with so many artists out of the Toronto area, because I publish a digital magazine as well. So I've been doing a lot of media work for Sasha over the years and whatnot. But this was really awesome. I'm grateful to her, grateful to you for coming on. I definitely will be looking to have you on again when that next book is coming out for next May. And you might see me pop up in Toronto, and I'm going to look for you when I get there.
Yeah, well, I might be hard to find. I'm not very, very big, but my personality, people say my personality is big, but I'm not very big. But anyway, Toronto has a lot of festivals. We have a big Caravana festival. We have an Italian festival. We have a Greek festival. We have Taste of Greek. We have, there's always stuff going on in Toronto. It's kind of exciting that way. It's a very dynamic city for sure. But Pride, go us. Anyway, thank you again. You've been lots of fun and really lovely. And I was kind of nervous to come on, and you didn't make me feel nervous.
God, thank you.
You are welcome. You're welcome anytime you feel like you want to come on with us. And definitely when you're ready to release that next book, we got to make sure that we have you on. So I'll make sure I put the bug in Sasha's ear that when she's releasing that book, we got to have her on.
Yeah. You heard it first, folks. Heard it here first. All right. Take good care.
So thank you again.
Bye.
Take care.
Thank you.
So what y'all think, y'all? What y'all think?
That was so interesting. I know I have to read that book. And I'm definitely looking forward to the second book. Hearing the other people's stories coming from different countries and things like that. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah. I'm excited that we had her on. Like, I think it was very essential for us to have her on. Definitely given our own backgrounds, and then just given all of the stuff that's going on in the world. And like, I think it was very for us to have her on. And that's crazy to think that she was nervous to come on with us, but I'm glad that she came on. I'm glad that she came on. I love y'all. I think that y'all did amazing. Kathy was in there and look, Kathy, listen, she it's very interesting.
Cupcake. Oh my God.
You girls want some cupcakes?
Now listen.
Just like her.
Now, I'm a harass Diane because I ain't seen her. And she's all this talking.
She probably at home. She probably just got home. No, she ain't just got home. But she probably dealing with my grandma and all this other.
It's so much going on, and I'm not gonna go into a whole bunch of trending topics. Number one, because we are 13 minutes over anyway. It's it's almost 9:15. I think it's just some key stuff to really touch on. The passing of Richard Roundtree. He has been essential for this culture, and he has done so much in the culture alone. Like, not even just talking about right.
I always gotta sing the theme song, so that's how I know everybody.
Okay, sing the theme song.
They've been playing it all day on
I
radio.
remember how to go. Who's the man?
The master plan. Damn right.
Look, they've been playing it all day on radio.
Hey, and you know what's so crazy? Remember Will Smith? Remember when Will Smith, that episode with him and what's the place with the Las Vegas to get married, and they wanted a shaft wedding?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my God.
Oh,
so funny.
Her and
what was her name?
Nia Long.
Nia Long. Oh my God, when she came down that aisle.
Yeah.
That's how I remember it.
Right.
That was his favorite character, Shaft.
Absolutely.
So he will definitely be missed for sure.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to him. Condolences to his family, to his friends, to people that worked with him. Just everybody. A lot of people are mourning, his passing, and I mean, it's been posted all over social media all day long, talking about Richard Roundtree, and I didn't even realize that he had battled cancer. I believe they said pancreatic cancer.
Yep.
I had no clue that he had even battled that. So it's it's interesting to learn where people are in their lives and the stuff that they're dealing with and the stuff that they are hiding. Like I had been doing some digging on remember the group Field Mob?
Yeah.
So Sean J, sick of being lonely.
Oh man.
Oh,
Every night, my man. Yeah, don't get me started. Don't get me started.
So Sean J of Field Mob, like he had been battling cancer, like stage 4 cancer.
I saw that. I did see that.
That recently, and I can't even tell. Like, did he pass? Did he get through it? I don't know what's going on, but I've been kind of digging, and I don't know what made me start looking them up. I think I've been in this place where I've just been kind of reminiscing about people who I have done interviews with and met, and I got to thinking about when Disturbing the Peace was here in Cleveland, and they was like on their tour bus, and all the artists was here, and I did some stuff with Field Mob, and so I'm in that place now, like with launching the new platforms, that I'm starting to kind of reconnect with people who I have done stuff with in the past. So I started looking them up, and that's when I started seeing the videos on YouTube with him talking about the cancer and whatnot, and you could see like how it had kind of really eaten him up a lot, and he was going through the chemo and all of that stuff, and he just talked about like the relationships with his siblings or the failed relationships now with his siblings and with his mother, and just the stuff that was going on with that whole situation. But I don't even necessarily know where it's at. But then it was cool also to learn of the other member of Field Mob, Smoke. He actually has stopped rapping, and he's in like he's in the real estate business as far as like building homes and stuff. And he is like mad successful with it.
Really? Wow. I'll have to look him up. That's crazy.
Booming with it. And I think, even looking at his journey and where he is, I think it's a sign of not prejudging people, because if you really looked at like a lot of their interviews and conversations and stuff when they was basically doing rap and all of that stuff, you would have thought this dude ain't doing nothing. This dude is like, he is winning right now. He is really.
I hope it ain't no DJ Envy. I hope it ain't no charges. No Ponzi scheme. Getting the property. That's a different story.
What you think about that?
Oh man, DJ Envy. It's like, was he part of it, complicit, or was he a victim? Was he stupid enough to believe that somebody learned real estate in prison? I don't think that's the smart, the best place for somebody to learn how to do real estate. So I don't know. I'm torn between, was he stupid enough to trust someone else? Because I have been in a place where I trusted someone who so-called had more knowledge than me.
Listen, you see, right. I just put our little scroller up because I got some shit to say. And
what you got to say about DJ?
I need them to know this is alleged, because I got some stuff to say.
Ooh, you know what? Here, let me pour this in my cup. Get ready to sit.
I was about to ask you, what do you got in that cup? Because you just been
I'm sorry, I got my Gatorade Zero, zero sugar.
You sure it's Gatorade? Because she been.
I need a little. What time is it? I need a little nightcap or something for what James about to say. So let me get ready. I'm water in this cup.
It's not nothing crazy. It's not nothing crazy. I just, and this is just my opinion. This is just my opinion. I just ain't never really felt DJ Envy. Like, I just always thought, like, if you listen to, remember when they was promoting the book? When he was promoting his book with his wife and all of that stuff? Like, some of the stories that he told, and like, really just speaking on how if he don't like somebody, like it ain't pretty. And you just see certain stuff, and just the vibe ain't always been there for me. So and that's all.
I felt that from him. I felt less like he was less authentic than Charlemagne, definitely watching The Breakfast Club. But I just always thought it was so interesting that he always wanted such level of respect for Gia, his wife, when he was disrespecting her. You was had a whole affair with Erica Mena. And you doing all this because for how many years did we not even know DJ Envy was married? You wasn't even thinking about your wife, but now it's you gotta respect my wife and you gotta do this, and so I definitely felt where you was coming from with that. But it's just right now it's going to be for the courts to decide, was he in on this or was he a victim of the person that he went into the real estate business with?
I don't care what he got going on. I just hope Angela Yee real estate stuff ain't tied up with his, because
he said all the people he brought in, they said no. He said he called Joe Budden, Fabulous, and I can't remember.
And they all was like, man, quit playing. That's a
Joe Budden said that's a Ponzi scheme, bro. He told him no, I'll pass on that. And DJ Envy was talking about this.
Fabulous was like, I'll call you back, and never called him.
I called him back.
Fabulous ain't trying to engage in them shenanigans.
Well, I've never heard of a business where you're purchasing things with other people's money and then you keep purchasing more with the other people's money. That's the definition of a Ponzi scheme. That's a pyramid scheme. You're not really getting anything because you're making money off of what you're bringing in. You're not really making any kind of profit. Right. So a lot of people, unless you really know that's what a Ponzi scheme is or a pyramid scheme, it might sound, when something sounds too good to be true, come on, let's use our brains here.
Yeah, I agree. So I'm eager to see how that turns out. And it might be from a hateful stance, because I really don't care for him anyway. But I just want to see what it's going to turn out to be.
Yeah, we're going to see. I think we're looking at the fall of the Breakfast Club right now. Angela Yee is already gone. iHeartRadio is looking to replace DJ Envy. Since the Tuesday, we got replacements right here. We got 3 hosts right here ready for the Breakfast Club, honey. Let me know. I could be the new Angela Yee, and I'm not gonna say, because Angela Yee for sure always, when you ask her about something, she's like, "Oh, I don't know." Well, guess what? I know. I know, because I heard.
I know. Well, listen, I want to clarify.
You know what? Listen, let me tell you what. Wherever you go, Kat, I'm going right with you. This chick know too daggone, but I'm sitting here looking like a deer in the headlights, like what? Wait, what? Because I love it all. I'm 46 years old. I don't have time in the day to be sitting here on YouTube or trying to figure out who did what, whatever. I don't even have my notifications on for like what's trending on Instagram or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? I get on there and I make my little stupid little reels and my little stupid little TikTok, and I get off. So it's like keeping up with you is like the news.
Listen,
the entertainment news.
I just need everybody to know that we are on iHeart, we are on Google Podcasts. And
so somebody put a bug in their ear. We got the Breakfast Club right here.
Absolutely. Download the audio from our podcast.
Yes, download the audio. You can
listen to we having all the liquor and the weed and stuff. We don't have we can.
What you say? We got some Kool-Aid?
we got some, we know where to get this. Let me shut up. They be like, Tiffany, you shouldn't have said that out there. Oh, shit.
Listen, I dig what we have. We ain't trying to be no Breakfast Club, and that's not no slight. It ain't
ourselves.
It ain't no slight to nobody. We trying to be ourselves. There's room for everybody out here. Yeah, there's room for everybody out here, including us. And I think what we got is dope. I appreciate you two ladies. I
love it.
What's up with Brian McKnight? What's up with Uncle McKnight?
Brian Kanoa, whatever he changed his name. You didn't hear? Tiffany?
I already told you I don't be on like that.
Let me clue you in on his doings lately.
See, I'm gonna have to go over her house
Brian McKnight.
That's what's gonna happen.
Mr. Brian McKnight has
all
changed
y'all
his name.
that's watching us, y'all see that Tiffany the one that when we send this stuff out, Tiffany ain't paying no attention.
You almost made me say something. You almost made me say something.
She basically said, nigga, you wasting your time. Don't be sending me that shit. I ain't got time for that.
She gonna get her news here. She don't gotta read. I'm gonna tell her.
I got school, a kid, a job. Boy, you better go some daggone way. I be seeing that stuff come up there, and I be like, okay, as soon as I get home, I'm gonna read it. That's
the beauty of what we have is that. That's the beauty of what we have is that, like, we ain't just some nobodies that's coming out here trying to do this. Like, we all got stuff going on. We got lives happening. Like, I'm doing hella media stuff throughout the day, and I'm doing all this other stuff. And I have multiple businesses, so it ain't just about the media stuff. I got the transportation company, and like I'm moving. And I know that Kat is moving all day long, and Kat out there modeling, and she be putting up them fire reels. Like she finna get me together on the reels. Because I know my shit be a little janky sometimes, so she trying to
get all the views. I don't know what you talking about, Tifa. Tifa post something in 2 seconds, it'll be 200 likes. I'm like, God dang on Tifa.
Right.
Yo, listen, I got on here today. I posted a reel just to be funny. Got on here 200. What?
I was sad.
I'm not doing this. Let me tell you what. I don't do this to get the likes. I don't do this to get noticed because before all of this, before the podcast, and I get God is my witness, and I love God to death, and this is a whole blessing right here. Before I got on this podcast, I would post reels. I would get only like 20, 15 views. Ever since my cousin put me on. Folks has been in my inbox, in my profile, all of it, like just cracking up at this shit that I be posting.
I do what I can do. Do it. I mean,
TikTok is the worst. TikTok. I have 700 followers on IG right now. I love y'all on IG. I love y'all on TikTok. I thank y'all everything because when I go on TikTok, I just don't be blowing smoke when I be posting shit. Like I talk the real. I don't care if you don't like it. I don't care if you think I'm corny or this shit ain't right or you need to be doing. And I'm speaking the truth right now. I love you, James.
Right. And Tiff, you gotta be yourself. Like we said today, we gotta live authentically. You gotta be yourself. There's only one Tiff. There's only one Tiffany. You can only be yourself. And we need you to be you. You know, it's all three of us. We all bring something to the table.
That is the whole.
I started to really shut down. I started to shut down all my social media. I really started to just say like, F everything because I was just getting so much negativity and so much negative slack, and it was like no support. Like, my bad, I'm sorry, I wasn't looking up, or this, that, and the third. But YouTube, right there, taught me, especially Kat, like we going through the same thing.
I was gonna say, especially me. You ever see the people that be look? You ever see the people that
your Oscar speech?
They be like, listen,
I'm talking about as far as
has been like they've been so instrumental in my life, and you be sitting there like, and then they call somebody. You be like, I just knew she was gonna say me. Go on and talk about that.
I was gonna say, me and her had the conversation of all conversations. No, we had the conversation of all conversations. No, man, we've been rocking since 2015. I think 14, I believe.
But you know what? Like, I think that's why I pulled the three of us together. I swear to God, I pulled the three of us together, and I think it's cool that obviously, just on the familial side of it, like it helps us reconnect and really do some stuff together and really help each other grow and that sort of thing. But we all are helping each other in different aspects. So like
Yes,
that's beautiful
we
that
are.
getting from
And
like
me and Tiff are new co-hosts. We're new, so we're going to be having growing
Yes.
pains.
absolutely,
We're going to be having technical difficulties. You know, we're going to be
absolutely,
having everything. You know, we're getting it together. But I really want to thank James for this platform and helping us, teaching
Absolutely.
us. You
but I
know,
have
we are
Yeah.
all teaching each
too.
other.
Like I gotta keep it 1,000 too. Like I don't know everything with doing this too. Like I'm just like y'all are learning. I'm really learning the
Mhm.
platform too, and I always have to give kudos to Schoolboy because like the little stuff that I do know, except this video that I watched today from whatever her name was on YouTube. Like I just listen, I done figured out how to pull these pictures in, but
YouTube
I
University,
am
baby.
so excited because now we can start posting pictures of
but
and showing everybody what we be talking about.
yeah,
Mhm.
but like Schoolboy really looked out for me, and like I'm always grateful
Shout
to
out to
Schoolboy
Schoolboy.
for the help that she gave me on doing this stuff, and it's just helping me get to the next level. So like I'm always grateful, and I need people to understand, and I know that people that's watching, especially who came along when Schoolboy was on the podcast, like I know that they get it. Like it ain't no love lost. We just came to the conclusion that I need to learn and grow a little bit more, and she's on a different level, and there's some stuff that she wants to do, and she got some like she got a reality series finna launch in January, and like she got a lot of stuff going on. So like she mad cool people, and our moderator who's gonna be popping in from time to time is her family. So like that whole family is dope. But I'm always grateful to her, and I always want to make sure that I shout her out because I'm learning a lot from her. And then that way I can kind of show y'all some stuff that I've been able to pick up. And
Absolutely.
listen, we growing, and we
Yes,
doing
we
really
are.
good.
It's only
We
up
doing
from here.
Yes,
we
we
doing
are.
really
Yes,
really good, and the
we,
social
we
media
have
is
grew in numbers. We have grew in numbers just overnight on
yeah,
the
on the
culture on
Facebook.
Facebook, just from me sharing, like in Kat, go to your mom's house, go on her Facebook page and and do what I did on my mom. Girl, I went in her phone and got busy. Do you
And
understand?
listen, like
Got
for the
busy.
people who are watching right now, the people who are still watching, and then there's going to be people who are going to go back and actually watch the video, because if you go on YouTube, like on your TV or whatever, you see them numbers going up for them episodes. They going up. So people are going
Yes.
back and they watching it
We
after the
love you
fact
guys
too.
out there in the audience.
So
too.
I want to make
Yes,
sure
thank
that I
you for
say
the audience.
so I want to make sure that I say to the people who are watching us, like, that's another way that you too can help us, especially if you like what we have and you like what we are bringing you and presenting to you. Go on your Facebook, like go to our page and invite your friends to like it, and tell your friends to go to their page and invite their friends to like it. Like that's the
Yeah.
easiest way for us to grow, and we trying to grow so that we can continue bringing you more stuff. Like I'm
Yeah.
working to try to get us on a streaming network, and like it's a lot of stuff going on. I have secured the call letters for the radio station, and like that's huge. So like I ain't gonna say what it is yet, but I have secured the call letters for the radio station. The radio station is gonna launch like mid 2024. So
Okay.
I'm working on a lot of stuff on the backside. But I think that as a team, like we are doing really amazing, and like our family, like we created this promotional group yesterday on Facebook, and already it's a ton of people in there looking to help.
Yes.
So many. It's so
And
many.
it's crazy that something as simple as that can really help us, because we invite them into the group and then they can easily share all of the stuff, and like
Yes.
they was going crazy yesterday sharing. I'm like, damn, like I got all these notifications on here.
Yeah.
On Facebook.
I wanted to give a shout out to our little cousin Noah Robinson.
Yeah.
He
Tell no, I need to hear.
he is taking over the legendary, our uncle, the legendary Lennon
Uncle
Hodges.
Lee.
Yes.
He taking
Boy,
over Uncle Lee.
what? Not the shop, but the fact that he's a barber. He is
Oh,
our next
I'm like,
barber,
you got
because
the
you know
stuff
we
back in the
got all kinds of beauticians in our family. We got all kinds of beauticians in our family, but that one right there, it kind of hit hard because Uncle Lynn was like the one uncle that cut everybody. He cut Cameron's hair.
Well,
when he turned
Uncle Lynn, when I went to the University of Akron and I was living down there in Akron, Listen, I ain't see you that whole time I was down there, but Uncle Lynn cut my hair every week.
He cut Cameron's hair when he was 1 year old. His first haircut, and then he got sick and ill and passed. But Noah has been cutting hair for. Let me see. I believe Noah is 19, or I think he's 20. I think he's 20. So he graduated from Firestone High School, and from what I heard, that he was secretly cutting hair at the school on the side. You gotta do what you gotta do.
We love an entrepreneur.
Aaron is.
Listen,
But then he started cutting my son's hair, KJ. He started cutting his hair out of his own home. And he told me that he was going to barber school, but I thought he was going next year, but he started up. Anyway, there's a big write-up in the Akron Beacon Journal about him. And I wish we could have put it on there now so everybody could see. I just want to tell that boy, and I called him today because KJ does have an appointment tomorrow, that I am so proud of you, Noah. I know he's probably not watching, but I forgot to tell him, but I'm so proud of you, Noah, doing what you're doing. You making that bread, boy. And anybody that lives out there.
In and out. So I'm gonna go back and see who all the people were that was watching. But we've had like numbers, they've gone up and down. So we've had a lot of people popping in and out. But so he might have popped on there. So that's the that
if anybody is in Akron,
it'll show you how many people are watching, but it doesn't show you who. So I can go back and see who. But I think that's really good.
Because if
anybody
is in Akron.
Huh? You say what?
I said, if anybody is in Akron, you guys make sure y'all go up. I said, if anybody is in Akron, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
To make sure you go up to that barber college up on Roman Road. It's up on Roman Road in the little plaza, the first plaza you get to, and make sure you ask for Noah Robinson. He'll
across from Amazon.
No, it's way before you. It's right across the street from the it's a car shop. It's a car shop across the street.
You'll see in that little plaza, kind of. I feel like wasn't Tiffany's bakery over there or something?
So
that's where all is at, like right there.
So that's at the bottom of the hill, or is that down by?
It's up on the hill.
You go up the hill, like you're going towards Amazon. So as you get up the expressway,
when you go up the hill, you can make a right on that first street, and it'll take you to whose house was we at for the reunion meeting?
No, you're gonna go around the corner. So you're gonna go up the hill because it's like a Y. So when you go up the hill, you're gonna go straight around the corner.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, but you will see it because when you see all
come down there and check them out. So he's in the shop, he's in the barber school. I might
Please
come and
show your
support.
Absolutely. Please show your support, you guys. Show my little cousin some love.
I might come check him out and get a haircut.
Yes. Yes. Get your beard up and all that.
But now, this has been really cool. But I think we got off on a tangent and we were talking about the Brian McKnight situation. I don't know what the hell he's going through, but
identity crisis, narcissism, all of that. It's a lot with him. Long story short, Tiff, he changed his name to match his youngest son's name, even though he already has a junior, because he doesn't deal with his older kids. He's disowned his older children. So he only claims his wife's biological children, and then I think him and his wife maybe have one or two children together.
But what causes you to disown your children?
Yeah, like, do you know anything about that?
He's disowned his children. The reason he said was they were not independent. They were begging for money. They were into their adulthood. They were still asking for help as adults. And I'm like, I asked my mom for something. My mom bought me McDonald's.
I still ask my mom for money.
But if you don't teach your kids to be independent, then I mean you can't. And that's the problem, is that people get money and then they don't be involved with their kids because they out traveling and doing all this other stuff. Like, let's keep it all the way gangster. Like,
Well,
it's like, and that's not saying that we know it all, and that's not saying that we know what has gone on in their lives or whatever. But a lot of the situations are, in a lot of situations, the father is out doing his thing, and he touring, and he doing shows and he doing music, and he in the studio, and he is not thoroughly involved with the kids.
Yeah.
Well, if
that's what they were saying. He wasn't there.
He don't have those values. Like you gotta help him along the way or whatever, or you gotta teach him them values. But you don't just disown your kids because And that's just me. Again, this is all opinion. This is all alleged.
He had made some comments about one of his daughters, and she had to take him to court and even got damages because of what he was saying was untrue. And so he disowned her, and his stepdaughter goes to the same college as his daughter, and he came on parents weekend to visit the stepdaughter and bought her a car.
Wow.
And his daughter said, imagine walk around campus seeing your father with a child that's not even his own, white or Hawaiian. He was with his child that was a stepchild. He's buying her cars and doing all this, but yet you saying your Black children are dependent on you. So what, I think he just having an identity crisis. I think a lot of men, I noticed that they kind of throw away their first family and then they put they all into their new family, to their second family. Yeah. And it's not okay. It's not okay. And especially changing your name. How your newborn son gonna be the junior? You the junior. He had the name first. How you gonna change your name to match your newborn baby's name?
I guess he said I know.
I'm a little confused behind that.
Yeah, it don't make no sense, but he's being spiteful to his children. He's acting out of anger, and he's acting out of, it seems like, narcissism. Like he feel like I'm just so great, and they should be, kissing his ass for real. And it's not okay. So he's tripping. He need to start back at one.
People don't.
Now, did it say how old his oldest is?
They're, I believe, in they like 20s, 30s. Yeah, he totally disowned them. Everything he was doing for him, he just abruptly stopped. He abruptly stopped paying for college, rent, car notes.
That's not the car note. Now, wait a minute.
The car note. They was saying their cars was getting repoed.
Wait.
They was going outside. They was going outside with the key looking, and it was gone. So.
No, okay. Now wait a minute. Hold up. Time out. That's the car note.
And she talking out. Lord.
It gotta end somewhere. Now, okay, he got these old children, these old ass kids. We're gonna just put it out there. Okay, yes.
Yeah.
If they're doing good and everything and they're in college, I'll help you out. You know what I'm saying? I gotta pay
they said they were doing everything that he wanted and required, but he got married, and it was like once he got married, he stopped doing all that for them. He actually had an outside baby on his wife that the wife took in while they were married, and that is the same daughter that he disowned. And his wife even went to go visit her during the parents' weekend, and she like, this not even my mom, this is your wife that took care of us while you was out on tour. And you disowned your married kids, your outside kids. Like, dang,
you just a good woman.
Yeah, he don't care. So we gonna hopefully he get together. Wow. No more. I'm not saying no more Brian McKnight on my on my Spotify or nothing. He getting skit.
Well, here's the thing. I never really seen Brian McKnight. He was just too slow to me. It was like everything he came out with was a slow freaking song. Like, your life was that slow? Obviously not.
Like a dream come true.
I'd rather be with you. Free. They
said he need to start back at one because he's doing that.
Let's repeat. Obviously, she wasn't the only one, and she done took in a whole doggone child. Man, get the hell out of here, man.
Yeah, he's tripping. So let's pray for the children and their hearts. And it gotta really hurt to be disowned at this level and so publicly. That your dad changed his name. You're named after your father, Junior, and he changed his name to disown you, and he's famous. Like that's just, I can't even. I don't even know what to say. So we,
Yeah, you better say it.
Right. Okay, so look,
say
it is it's 10 minutes to 10. We finna get off of
it's
here.
Well into the evening. Well into the evening. Yes.
I
got one more topic. I got one more topic for y'all because I feel like
let's keep going. Let's keep going.
I feel like I saw this coming, and I don't want to jump the gun just yet. But you see, Lauryn Hill canceled Philly.
Yes.
She said because.
Now that's one thing I don't know.
She said, James, you wasn't appreciative of my artistry, so they ain't getting nothing. Y'all ain't getting nothing.
Oh,
James, you specifically did that. I just want to. I hold you accountable. Okay, she must have watched the show or something. She heard it wasn't doing too good, so. You heard Wyclef was upstaging her, so she had to get on.
Listen, they
she
both
messed up with James and him up there in Jersey, and she had to cancel a whole two shows.
I'm gonna say again. I'm gonna say one more again that I purposely went to the Jersey show because in my mind I was like, if she gonna screw anybody over, it ain't gonna be Jersey. It ain't gonna be the home city because she still live there. I'm like, it ain't gonna be the home city because she still live there. She gotta go home. So I said she gonna turn up for them. But everybody else, y'all better watch out.
I read that. I said, "Are you serious?" She canceled us.
So listen, what I am gonna say is that I'm gonna take a risk. This is probably not an educated risk, but I'm gonna take a risk. She is in Detroit on November 21st. So I'm probably gonna go. I don't know how y'all feel or if y'all want to go. Detroit ain't but 2.5 hours. What they gotta do with it? We going to ATL November.
Look, bro, I can do only one of
them. This ain't going to all them trips. That's how I'm like,
listen, I don't know who you think and Mama ain't about to have that either. You going win, right. And I gotta keep who? Yeah, and listen to this. They out for a whole week Thanksgiving, a whole Monday.
Yeah, because Elijah just told me today.
Why would they do that for them kids? Their kids can go to school on Thanksgiving. They eat when they get home. Okay.
Hey, but you know what?
That's why I like it. That's what I'm talking about.
We didn't have a whole week off. I don't know what's going on with this generation. We didn't have a whole week off. We had Thursday, Friday,
Wednesday, Thursday, Wednesday through. Because we was always off
the whole week. I said, who do you think they is? This ain't Easter.
The teacher said they thankful for not seeing y'all's kids. Okay,
they
thankful for not seeing them teachers. Oh,
right.
Never mind. I'm not even. I got parent-teacher conference tomorrow, so I'm prepared.
So yeah, they might be listening. They might be listeners. So yeah, we gonna.
They 7-day advantage. They ain't listening to this shit.
Right. I'm gonna go ahead and shut us down. I want to thank the people who are still on here, like y'all stuck it out and y'all hung in with us, and we really, really appreciate y'all. We really are only an hour.
Y'all need to be in the comments so we can give y'all shots out. Y'all just gonna be sitting there listening. Y'all need to be up in here in the comments.
Listen, we appreciate y'all. Because we really did stretch this out. Listen, I'm old. And I know y'all can see I'm sleepy because
my eyes been. Hey, I ain't even gonna lie. I was so sleepy.
I'm asleep. I know my lazy eye just getting on. My lazy eye telling on me. You know.
Look.
Trying to push it open. You know, get
that's the beauty of having a 17-year-old. My child came over earlier. I went to the gym and came home, and he was parked in the driveway. He brought me something to eat, I'm finna eat this
Aww.
eat this food. And I was supposed to go out and Uber tonight. I'm gonna probably be asleep in a minute. It's all good. Listen, you might as well flip that 46 around to a 64 because I'm old, baby. I'm tired. I'm really, really tired.
There
And
you
it's
go. We 64 years old. Ted over here, the one holding it down. Shoot.
Listen, I'm tired, but I'm blessed to have y'all. I'm blessed to have this platform. I'm blessed to have the mega platform of UGD. And I'm really grateful to the people who are keeping up with us and tuning in. Definitely a big shout out to Jo Deluzio for coming on and speaking about
the book.
Absolutely. Yes.
And I'll definitely be posting more about the book so that people will have a better idea of, when it's going to be available and how they can pre-order and all of that stuff. I did want to mention we are going to start doing what I would like for us to start doing, and the three of us can discuss it a little bit better and really iron out the details. But what I really would like to do is kind of create a segment titled "Are You Transcending?" or "How Are You Transcending?" And I mean, we can tighten that up as far as the title and whatnot. But ultimately, what we'll do is closer to the end of the podcast, we'll invite 2, 3, maybe 4 people on to talk about what are they doing in their community to build and to uplift and to help somebody else. And, this can be them talking about their business if they are, own a Black business or own a business and they want to talk about their business. We can definitely do that to allow some people some airtime and some shine so that they can,
I have one in mind already.
And this will be people who are watching. So we ain't just looking for nobody and saying, hey, let's put you on. They need to be watching and they need to be supporting and they need to be on here because we're going to pull people from the comments that are here.
You hear that, guys? You got to be supporting. If you want to get your
supporting the people that support us. So they need to be on here and commenting and interjecting and that ain't right. And that's what, or whatever. They need to be on here. Maybe spit a little bit of tea.
Straight.
We are gonna. I do want to start reaching out to some other content creators and having them come on and maybe sit in with us on trending topics and that sort of thing, so we could get some outside opinions and do that and kind of jazz it up a little bit and give it some more life. And then I know that you two have some things that you really want to be able to do through this as well. Kat is going to be working on finalizing just details and whatnot for a podcast that she more than likely is going to do on the platform. That platform being UG Digital Podcasting and Radio. Again, I did mention we got our call letters for the radio station. I'm not going to put it out there just yet, but that is coming and we are launching that mid-June. I know everybody is like, what is up with this cough? Listen, Elijah had a football game last Friday and it was raining and we were sitting out in the rain and I've been coughing like a hound.
Oh no.
But it's a little better though. But anyway, yeah, it's a lot of stuff happening, but good stuff. There is a magazine called Bold. Don't shoot me, y'all. I'm gonna post it, so just be watching because I am featured in a magazine talking about the podcasting network and transcending the culture and that sort of thing. And I did the interview probably a month ago, and they are just now getting ready to publish it. So I'll make sure that that's out there so that people can really. It's called Bold Journey Magazine. The website is actually boldjourney.com, but the article is going to be on their website. So I don't know exactly when it's going to go up, but it should be like within the next week or so. And I think that'll be a cool thing. That'll get us out there a little bit more. I got some press releases in the works to, kind of get that stuff out there and really spread the word a little bit more about us. And then you ladies, keep in mind that us doing this is an opportunity for us to be able to spread the word about our businesses and the stuff that we have too. So I'm working on giving you guys admin access to like the the social media that I created, like for transcending the culture, so that then, you know, if you want to put like some crafted posts and stuff about your stuff that you have going on, or for instance, if you had a fashion line, or if you have some merch, or if you have a website, like this is a way for us to promote all of the stuff that we are working on. So don't be shy. If you want to get some stuff out there and you want to be able to push it to our audience, this is the place to do it. So that being said, you know, thank you to everybody that has tuned in for this 2 hours.
Special edition.
Right.
Because
we ain't catching already. We are not drink champs. We do not do 3-hour episodes. So
you could listen. You would have saw a dark screen on my end here. They're like, what happened to Tiffany?
Y'all see what we dealing with Tiffany. Listen, and it ain't gonna get no better. So but no, it's all good. Thank y'all so much. Yeah, we getting ready to shut this puppy down. I want to ask people, y'all got any questions, any final comments or thoughts or anything? But listen, we
I'm tired.
I'm trying to tell you, we appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much, and
I'll get better with the information and go on and try to see who's doing what and ain't doing and all that. I swear I'm gonna get better. Look who just look who just popped in the comments.
Who?
Look.
Let me see. Girl, bye. What time is it? We ain't even supposed to be on the air no more, and now you want to pop in here talking. Listen, you ain't gonna have me showing out in front of our audience that been here for the whole 2 hours. Where you been
at? Don't do my mama like that. Don't do.
Where you been at, Diane? Sorry, y'all.
Where your antennas been?
I just don't you do my mama like that.
We gonna let y'all go. Listen, we love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in to us. This finna be our exit out of here. We appreciate y'all.
Bye.
Bye. Oh my gosh, she is so stupid.